Hello, it's Nick Dutch, back again one more time. Received a nice long private message from one of my more long-term viewers. And this one says, Dear Nick, I just wanted to send you a short note commending you on your videos, especially like this one, Evil Demonic Nightmares and Their Meaning, from among your most recent videos, because you mentioned healthy diet being integral for a healthy mental and spiritual perspective. My father used to tell me the same thing or similar, although he himself did not eat very healthy. I found his advice was correct. I used to be plagued with demonic nightmares as a child. They were horrible. As I entered my teenage years, I adopted a more healthy eating style than was customary for my culture. The culture I grew up in is a food culture, heavy, fatty foods, lack of vegetables, fruit, or any semblance of healthy eating. The majority of those demonic dreams ceased, and I even had a reverse demonic dream. Let me explain. As a child, I had many dreams about being attacked by demons and shadows. Without getting into explicit detail, they were sometimes very bloody dreams. As I grew older and took better care of my health and pursued a real relationship with my Creator, brackets imperfections galore, just like everybody else, darling, okay? Alright? We're all riddled with imperfections, we're all broken. Accept it, okay? And carry on growing like everyone else has to at every age. The message goes on. Subsequently, the dreams became more infrequent, and I even had a very liberating dream in which I was pursuing and chasing off the demons and shadows who were trying to attack me. I really liked that dream. Smiley face. In that dream, I broke the chains confining me as the shadowy creatures were closing in and started to chase them. I was beating them up. I know that sounds silly, but that was what was happening in my dream, lol. I remember actively thinking, this dream is different than the other dreams. I can control my movements in this dream. It was fun, as I also had the power of flight and chased these demons, beat them up, and they started flying away from me. I haven't had many awful dreams that I can remember since childhood, but I do remember one recently last week during a stressful time in my life when an immediate family member had to be hospitalized for a mild stroke. I was being assaulted by an invisible creature and could not move. I was rather fearful because it seemed so real. But I was thinking to myself, oh no, I'm not going to put up with this. I started to struggle, trying to fight and to get this invisible creature's hands off me whilst yelling out to God for help. I could barely move my lips for some reason, but managed to call out with difficulty. I wasn't going to give up, and in the midst of the struggle, I was gaining momentum. I woke up, and that was the end of the dream. I don't know if I won, but I'm glad I didn't lay down for that shadowy or invisible creature. With God's help, I was fighting it in my dream. I found a correlation between that dream and reality. I was feeling overwhelmed, in a sense, by life's circumstances, but I kept struggling, kept fighting to be free of being confined by whatever it was that was trying to confine me, or have its way with me. I saw the dream as metaphorical or symbolic feelings of being overwhelmed by some difficult life situations, but I kept fighting. I wasn't going to give up, or give in and give up. Any thoughts? Do you agree? Yes. Dreams are weird things. They just are weird things. And in your dreams, you can be tackling or dealing with all kinds of things that could be going on in either your body or your mind, in my opinion. They could be to do with your psychology, your ego, the things which have happened during the day or during your past, or trying to put difficult situations to rest. And in this particular case, I've got a bit of YouTube catness for you to... There we go, isn't he sweet? Yes, of course. So yeah, I mean, says he with the cat's tail in his face. Yeah, your dreams can be very weird, and diet can have a part to play, as well as how much you're eating, whether you're eating too much or too little, your energy balance, vitamins and minerals, whether you've got sufficient elimination of waste, whether you've got an infection building up, and so on and so forth. All these things can have an impact. So being someone who tries to understand or analyze dreams, I believe, is quite important, because it brings you as an individual, whoever you are, into much more of a direct experience of self. and all the various different parts of yourself. And yes, that does need to be added to through academic study into psychology and dreams and all that kind of stuff. And it's up to you to try and find some kinds of answers, but also be skeptical, because there's always some wanker in the world who will come round to you and say that if you dream of a mirror, it means your soul, or it means this, or what. It's not quite that clear cut. It will be variable. Alright? Just wants to make sure I didn't run over the cat's tail whilst moving my chair. The cat runs the house. Okay, I have to do what the cat says. He's even told me, alright, to give him my old chair so he can sit on it. So he's got his own chair now. There's not that much room in this flat, but that cat has got his own chair. I'm crazy. Right, my cousin and I decided to adopt a healthier lifestyle a while ago, because the message is carrying on, okay? Eat better and exercise regularly, etc. We're far from being perfect. So am I, okay? Don't worry about it. But we are progressing. Most of our family, extended family, have ailments which we have not, due, in my opinion, to healthier eating habits and exercise. Yeah, I mean, exercise is an important thing. There was a lady from like the Ministry of Health or whatever it is, here in the UK on one of the TV chat shows, and she says that the only magic bullet for preventing some of the more serious diseases in life, not necessarily your coughs and colds, but some of the more serious diseases, is exercise. Interesting. And we are the only ones without diabetes, which most of our extended family has. They don't want to listen to us when we talk about eating habits, but we continue to try. I'm sorry for the long letter, Mr. Dutch. I originally wanted to write only a few lines. Thank you for your level-headed perspective, coaching and confirmations. Have a wonderful day. Yeah, okay. What you put in your body will, to a great degree, become the fabric of your body. So your body has to have all the right building blocks for the functioning, chemical functioning of all of your internal organs, and they're complex, as well as to, repair, to help you with your immune system. The organ which uses up most energy in your body is your brain. So if you want to be able to think, you've got to think carefully about what you put in your body. All the stuff about personal efficiency that various new ages go on about. I mean, it's about your brain, basically. If you get that working well and efficiently and effectively through looking after your diet, nutrition, exercise, and sleep, you will be okay. I mean, for those of you who've been following me since I started, you'll know full well there was times when I was doing without sleep because I needed the money. I had to carry on working. Okay, and the result was I fell for all of the conspiracy theory stuff because my mind was weakened through lack of healthy, proper sleep and good circadian rhythms. Okay, just take one of these factors, diet, nutrition, exercise, and sleep, out of your life somehow, and you will end up falling for shit. It's a serious issue. Okay, you want to be able to think, you want to be a free thinker and think for yourself, eat good, healthy food. At the moment, my diet is principally vegetarian. I went gluten-free a while ago, and now I'm questioning as to whether it was being gluten-free that was the thing, or whether it was because that forced me even further into thinking about my health and what I was putting into my body. Now, in my opinion, being gluten-free is really important, or reducing your gluten intake as well as reducing your dairy intake right down, because dairy is not good in my opinion, and cutting out things such as massive quantities of sugar. Alright, these things are quite important. But then you need to experiment and research to work out what you can put in your body and what you should be putting in your body and how you should be preparing it. I worked for a time for a psychic line that wanted me to work through lunch breaks, and I don't work with them anymore. I actually need lunch breaks, proper lunch breaks, when I can get myself to the kitchen, get out all my cooking equipment, and actually make something myself from fresh ingredients. I'm quite lucky. I've got a Morrison supermarket near me, within walking distance, and their vegetables are, half the price of the supermarket I went to. So essentially, I'm able to have access to much better stuff, and I'm getting back into juicing fruits and juicing vegetables as well, and adding that to the whole mix so that the body gets what the body needs to be able to function well. I'm not a raw vegan. I mean, was it last summer when the weather was so hot? I just became like the equivalent, I should say, of a heroin addict, but for salads, because it was so damn hot. So essentially, during that time, I went raw vegan, and there was something interesting about the way it made me feel. That was good, but I don't think it was totally balanced. So I'm now steaming. To the most part, I'm steaming my food. Sure, for breakfast, I still have microwaved oatmeal porridge. And I have linseed on that to help me with the digestive transit, which is working out very nicely for me. Lunchtime, I spent some time doing without carbohydrates. I was just having the vegetables, which was good, but it made me kind of like have terrible wind, so that wasn't good. So I've now reintroduced the carbohydrates in the form of potatoes and sweet potatoes and steamed rice. And it's all working very nicely for me at the moment. And I think it's given me a sufficient quantity and quality of clarity of thought, which is also quite important. So, the food you eat is fucking essential. Doesn't matter what job you've got. You want to be good at it. Doesn't matter what your family history is. You want to be able to get on well with your family. Doesn't matter what anything is. That crap you put in your mouth, and that you chew, and that you swallow, has to be right. Stuff I buy these days is not organic, but it is pure. Okay, it's not like refined shit. I buy carrots. I don't buy pre-packaged, pre-chopped carrots. I buy fucking carrots, and I peel them myself, I grate them myself, I cook them, chop them, whatever the fuck it is, I do with them myself. Same with potatoes. I don't buy a tin of potatoes. Well, if I do buy tins of potatoes, that's in case I run out of money and I've still got some food to eat. Okay, and so that's stored in my little larder area. I sprout my own lentils and mung beans, and that adds to my vitamin and mineral intake big time when I get round to it, because sprouting it's a bit of a chore. But having steamed food, having some raw food, having healthy fresh fruit and vegetables, which is like the thing which, as a child, you were the most terrified of. Those like dark shadows in your nightmarish dreams. By comparison with that, eating fresh fruit and vegetables, good God, you were terrified of it. We know when you were young. But nowadays, just eat good food. Don't be terrified of vegetables. You may not like them, but the more you get to know them and you learn how to cook them properly, the more you will realize how fucking sweet it is to be taking that stuff into your body. Okay, steamed vegetables, fantastic. Not frozen, not tinned. Alright, there was a time when I just bought, I wanted to have very short lunch breaks, so I wanted to carry on working. So I was buying these tins of curry and potato curry and the rest of it. That didn't do me any good at all. There's no control over the additives, sugar content, salt content, all the rest of that, which you get when you fucking make it yourself. Seriously, this is actually important for anyone and everyone out there. Alright, everyone out there. Make it yourself. Take that bit of time. See it as like a meditation. Plan it, prepare it, do it. It's essential, okay, for clarity of mind, health of body, everything. Alright, freedom from nightmares, or, reducing the likelihood you're going to get them. Your ability to process, mentally speaking, the various problems you've had in your life. The ability to make wise decisions. And to look better physically. Cooking is the new cool. Healthy cooking is so cold, it's fucking sub-zero. That's how cool it is. Seriously, man, sub-zero. Alright, should be your bottom line, your baseline of living, working well with a healthy diet. in my opinion. Keep cool.